league founder explained that the snub wasn't personal, but it was business. That's all it is, business. Y'all gonna make it personal though. Just like y'all making it personal with Candace Parker. Y'all make it personal with anybody who does not lie and pretend like they are on the same level. That's all y'all gonna do. That's all y'all gonna do. That's it. So at the end of the day, look, we was wondering, yo, Ice Cube was offering that bag. He was offering that baggy bag. And Caitlyn was like, nah. I can't even help you, buddy. You got to get it on your own. I ain't doing it.
The air crackled with anticipation. Angel Reese, the Bayou Barbie, the national champion with the "you can't see me" swagger, was supposed to be the next big thing. Endorsements, media appearances, a seamless transition into a post-WNBA empire. That was the narrative being carefully crafted. But then, the music stopped. A silence, more deafening than any roar of the crowd, descended when Ice Cube, the mogul who turned street cred into a basketball league, simply said no. Not a negotiation, not a counteroffer, just a definitive pass that sent shockwaves through Reese's burgeoning brand and left a trail of unanswered emails and vanishing sponsors in its wake. This wasn't just a missed opportunity, it was a brutal awakening.
For Ice Cube, they're about to come and get Ice Cube. We know how this works. It won't be long. But the AR5 fans will seek and destroy, or try to, because that's standard operating procedure for them, Ice Cube. Because Ice Cube has come out and given everybody some brutal truth, and there is a portion of this that just tells you everything that we've been telling you. This is just confirmation.
For months, the hype around Angel Reese had been relentless. Her undeniable talent, combined with a magnetic, if sometimes controversial, personality, seemed like a winning formula. Brands were lining up, fans were captivated, and the narrative painted her as a box office sensation. But Ice Cube, a man who built his empire on shrewd business decisions and cultural impact, saw something different. His stunning revelation that the much-talked-about $5 million BIG3 offer was exclusively for Caitlin Clark exposed a harsh reality. Not all hype translates to guaranteed returns. The initial buzz, the viral moments, the outspoken confidence. Apparently, it wasn't enough to convince a seasoned entrepreneur like Ice Cube that Reese was the investment he was looking for. The "let's talk" phase evaporated into a curt "we're good," leaving Reese's camp scrambling to understand why the door had not just closed, but seemingly been bolted shut.
Ice Cube had a backup plan, right? According to the media, there's more than one star in the WNBA dump. The growth of pretend basketball should be attributed to more than one player. Since Caitlin Clark rejected the offer, Ice Cube could make the same deal with Angel Reese. Said, "We can't pay Angel Reese. This isn't the WNBA. We're in business to make money. We don't have the luxury of being subsidized by the NBA. If we're offering millions of dollars to a player, we have to receive a return on that investment."
Ice Cube didn't mince words when explaining his decision. It wasn't personal, he clarified. It was purely business. In the high-stakes world of professional sports leagues, especially those not subsidized by the NBA, every dollar counts. Offering millions to a player demands a significant return on that investment in ticket sales, viewership, merchandise, and overall league visibility. And in Ice Cube's assessment, Caitlin Clark, with her record-breaking college career, massive fan base, and undeniable media magnetism, presented a far more compelling financial proposition. He even pointed to the lukewarm engagement from Reese's team regarding the potential offer as another contributing factor. Clark, on the other hand, even in declining the BIG3 offer to pursue her WNBA dream, generated considerable buzz and demonstrated the kind of inherent marketability that Ice Cube's business model thrives on. It was a cold, hard calculation, one that exposed a fundamental difference in how these two athletes were perceived by those holding the purse strings.
With the BIG3's $5 million offer to Caitlin Clark never coming to fruition, could a lucrative Angel Reese proposal be up next for the Hoops League? Tell me you don't know ball. I mean, honestly. Don't count on it. TMZ Sports caught up with Ice Cube himself at LAX this week. And the BIG3 honcho said that there will be no deal put in front of Angel Reese anytime soon. Woo! What's that sound I hear? I believe that's seething. I believe that's what I'm hearing right now.
The moment Ice Cube's disinterest became public, it triggered a domino effect. Sponsors who had once eagerly aligned themselves with the perceived star power of Angel Reese began to quietly backpedal. Skincare lines, energy drink companies, even those fleeting crypto collaborations that often chase trending figures. They all seemed to vanish into thin air. The silence from these once eager partners spoke volumes. It wasn't a gradual fading of interest. It was a rapid exodus, fueled by the realization that the initial hype might not translate into sustainable brand loyalty or significant sales. For brands, association is everything, and the perceived rejection from Ice Cube, a cultural icon with a keen eye for business, sent a clear signal. The Bayou Barbie brand, once seemingly untouchable, suddenly looked a lot less secure, and sponsors, ever mindful of their bottom line and public perception, reacted accordingly.
The original gangster. It's so sad. Gone into hiding because of the absolute anger and insanity of Angel Reese fans because of this little clip talking about bringing her to the BIG3 league and, comparing her to Caitlin Clark, the man who started a revolution in the rap game, straight out of Compton, crazy.
Meanwhile, as Angel Reese faced this brutal recalibration, Caitlin Clark continued her ascendant trajectory. She wasn't caught up in public relations damage control or chasing elusive endorsement deals. Instead, she was doing what she does best, playing basketball at an elite level. The accolades continued to roll in, national commercials aired regularly, and the endorsement checks kept coming. Clark's marketability seemed effortless, an organic byproduct of her exceptional talent, humble demeanor, and the genuine excitement she generates among fans. She wasn't chasing clout, it was undeniably chasing her. This stark contrast only amplified Reese's predicament, highlighting the different paths the two athletes were on and the vastly different ways they were being perceived by the business world.
Ice Cube says BIG3 sponsors didn't view Angel Reese the same way as Caitlin Clark. He said with Caitlin, it was just to unlock millions of dollars for the league. They didn't tell us the same thing about Angel. Money talks, bullshit walks.
The uncomfortable truth that few dared to utter became increasingly apparent. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, despite their shared platform in women's basketball, occupied vastly different spheres when it came to marketability and brand appeal. It wasn't just about on-court statistics, although Clark's record-breaking performances spoke for themselves. It was about a confluence of factors: playing style, public image, fan engagement, and the perceived long-term potential to drive revenue. Ice Cube's decision wasn't a slight against Reese as a basketball player, but a pragmatic assessment of her brand's current value and future prospects compared to Clark's undeniable draw. One was seen as a brand builder, capable of unlocking significant financial opportunities. The other was, at that moment, still searching for that same level of broad market confidence.
So, Ice Cube said he offered Caitlin Clark, aka my precious CC, $5 million for a contract to play in a BIG3, and she turned it down, as she should. At the end of the day, she want to play in the WNBA, and I respect it. But what I respect more is Ice Cube told y'all, and he famous, and we the same color. Y'all think he hating when he say Angel Reese wasn't good enough? And the sponsorship wasn't feeling it at the end of the day. They wanted Caitlin, aka my precious CC.
It's a lesson as old as the league. Attention is cool, but respect is currency.
Faced with dwindling endorsements and the sting of public rejection, Angel Reese's team reportedly began efforts to rebrand, to shift the narrative. But the internet, as it always does, remembers. Every past petty comment, every flex that didn't quite land, every sideline argument, it was all still out there, readily accessible. Sponsors, sophisticated in their understanding of public sentiment, weren't just looking at highlight reels, they were assessing the overall brand risk and reward. They saw which athlete consistently garnered positive fan engagement and which often sparked controversy. The digital footprint Reese had cultivated, while initially contributing to her viral fame, now seemed to be working against her, a constant reminder of moments that didn't always align with the squeaky clean image most major brands prefer.
Does the offer still stand at Caitlin Clark?
Nah, we've moved on. We see that she is focused on the WNBA. And, we really didn't get great engagement from the offer from their team. I think the agents was hating on it a little bit.
What was the offer?
Beyond the highlight reels and social media buzz, a significant difference emerged in the realm of team dynamics and leadership. Caitlin Clark, from all accounts, has been a dedicated team player, her enthusiasm unwavering, whether she's scoring crucial points or supporting her teammates from the bench. Her focus appears to be on the collective success of the team. In contrast, reports and observations have suggested that Angel Reese's demeanor can shift noticeably when she's not in the spotlight or when things aren't going her way. This difference in approach, in how each player contributes to the overall team environment, can significantly impact how they are perceived, not just by fans, but by coaches, teammates, and ultimately potential sponsors looking for reliable and positive representatives. Guess who's landing those coveted daytime commercials? The contrast is stark.
I want to say one more thing about Ice Cube, though.
Sure.
The other thing that bothers me about this, Ice Cube has long been this man that has exalted himself as a pro-black man who is about black people and is about his community. So why he took this moment to say anything disparaging about a black woman bothers me.
Here's what bothers me about what Cube did. He based it around statements that Angel Reese made a year ago.
Right, but out of context though, because she didn't say that she couldn't pay her bills. She said based on her WNBA salary alone, which she said if that was all I had to live on, I couldn't pay my bills. But that's not all the money she's getting.
The sting of Ice Cube's rejection seemed to ignite a firestorm of defense from Angel Reese's supporters, with some even questioning Ice Cube's long-standing image as a champion for the black community. The argument arose that his decision to publicly state his business reasons for passing on Reese was somehow disparaging and contradictory to his pro-black stance. However, this line of reasoning seemed to miss a crucial point. Business decisions, especially those involving significant financial investments, are often driven by market analysis and potential returns, not solely by identity politics. While the optics of rejecting a prominent black female athlete might raise eyebrows, Ice Cube's explanation centered on marketability and sponsorship interest, factors that transcend race. To accuse him of hypocrisy for making a business decision based on these metrics felt like a deflection from the core issue, the perceived difference in brand value between Reese and Clark in the eyes of potential investors.
Came up with a brilliant plan to grow his league. He offered Caitlin Clark $15 million to join the Big 3. She would receive $10 million in salary over 2 years. He offered Caitlin Clark ownership stake, which would potentially be worth millions of dollars. He also gave her 50% of the merchandising revenue, along with ownership in a Big 3 documentary that came with a 7-figure advance. The deal was worth $15 million, but it could have been worth significantly more.
At the heart of the matter seemed to lie a fundamental difference in priorities, persona versus performance. While Angel Reese had undoubtedly built a strong personal brand, fueled by confidence and memorable moments, questions lingered about whether her on-court production consistently matched the level of her fame. Sponsors, ultimately seeking tangible returns, pay close attention to statistics, game impact, and overall consistency. Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, had let her record-breaking performances and undeniable talent speak for themselves. The endorsements and accolades followed organically. When your reputation starts to outpace your actual output, a disconnect forms, and that disconnect can be a major red flag for potential partners. The noise of viral moments and social media debates, without consistent clutch performances, eventually loses its luster.
So today, lads, the Indiana Fever played the Chicago Sky on Barbie night, and Obviously, it was... I actually am impressed by the Chicago Sky's fight. They were overmatched. They were absolutely overmatched. Because I gotta say this, like they tried. This is the first time I've seen the Sky without both Angel Reese and Ariel Atkins like try for a full game.
And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and like not be there for them. So I just want to always just know like I'm still a human. Like all this has happened since I won the national championship, and I said the other day I haven't had peace.
Ultimately, the situation wasn't about a culture war or a personal vendetta. It was a competence war playing out in the high-stakes arena of sports business. Caitlin Clark, through her exceptional skill, team-first attitude, and genuine connection with fans, had demonstrated a level of marketability that resonated with Ice Cube and sponsors alike. Angel Reese, despite her undeniable talent and captivating personality, had yet to consistently translate that into the same level of broad, sustained appeal. You can be loud, flashy, and constantly trending, but if you don't deliver when it counts, you risk being seen as more of a distraction than a franchise cornerstone. The sponsors noticed, the fans noticed, and even the way game broadcasts allocated camera time seemed to reflect this evolving perception.
Cube not paying Angel Reese the same as he paid Caitlin Clark. Be hard to say her name sometimes. Caitlin Clark. Well, come to find out, he's saying he couldn't pay Angel Reese $5 million because the sponsors feel that the marketability will be different.
The continued attempts to frame the Angel Reese-Caitlin Clark narrative as some kind of ongoing rivalry felt increasingly forced. One was setting new standards, breaking records, and attracting unprecedented levels of attention and investment. The other was grappling with public rejection and a cooling of brand interest. It wasn't a competition on a level playing field in terms of marketability. It was a cosmic mismatch being kept alive by those clinging to past narratives. Clark was doing exactly what leagues and sponsors dream of, elevating the game, making her teammates better, and generating positive headlines. Reese, on the other hand, seemed to be generating content, often controversial, that didn't always translate into confidence from those holding the checkbooks. In the final analysis, Ice Cube's decision to pass on Angel Reese wasn't a personal attack. It was a clear-eyed business assessment. He saw through the hype, the drama, and the inconsistencies, and made a call based on what he believed would best serve his league's financial future. The sponsors followed suit, their actions underscoring the same conclusion. The lesson for Angel Reese, and perhaps for any athlete seeking to build a lasting brand, is that while attention is valuable, respect, earned through consistent performance, positive impact, and genuine appeal, is the true currency in the world of endorsements and opportunities. The moment of viral fame is fleeting. Sustained success and a strong, reliable brand are what truly endure. Angel Reese may have thought she was the moment, but moments fade. And sometimes, the quiet dedication and consistent excellence of another athlete can outshine even the brightest initial spark.